as I understood as it was happening, and I've repeated this multiple times when people asked me why the hell you went to Taiwan.
Right.
And it was like, and I obviously didn't tell the whole story, but basically what you did though was teach conversational English to these kids.
Yeah.
And so you read from a book. And so did that go on into talking to them and saying, this is how you say, I want a popsicle?
No, absolutely not. There's multiple levels of different things. This is pure old school Chinese teaching by rote. They're just memorizing phrases. Most of the kids have no idea what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
At that level. Now, some of them
I did with that comment, that smart ass comment. They knew what they could read it and say it, but they didn't have a clue.
But they didn't know what they were saying. Now, the kids that were interested.
I love how this ties into that. That's great.
Yeah. They did learn, you know, and this wasn't the only way. I also taught private lessons where you just go to someone's house and you teach their kids or you teach them. I had one woman who wanted to do a Three's Company program. And I was like, what's that mean?
Wait a minute.
Wait, am I teaching? Or you know, what was going on? So I'd show up and we'd sit on the couch and she'd have a little workbook and she would play episodes of Three's Company.
The TV show.
The TV show, which were subtitled, and then they had been rearranged and they would pause at different moments. And then you would do the workbook and copy it. And then she would ask about this situation and that situation, all based on Three's Company.
Wow.
I taught her for like 4 months. It was amazing.
We actually had it's a married couple. They call themselves the Creek Rocks, and they play music. They were invited to do like a 1 week long, I wouldn't call it a residency, but I mean, it was like this kind of exchange where they went there and some folks it was Japan.
It was the Japanese sister city to Springfield. So they sent musicians over here from there and these musicians over there.
Yeah.
Like a
kind of like the old school
student exchange student thing. They exchange musicians.
Similar thing,
Sorta.
except music. So they were kind of talking about how, you know, most of the stuff they played, which a lot of it was their original music. You know, of course, the crowd just kind of sat and blank stare type of thing. Then they did a John Denver song
in Japan.
and the whole crowd went ape shit and they sang every single word and
Country roads take me home.
Nobody had accents. They sang it exactly like John Denver. And then they went on from there, and nobody got most of any of their music from there on out. Like, which sounds similar to that, like just memorizing that English thing. I don't know.
I don't know. But it's super weird because I think it might be true. I was 3 months in the road in mainland China. I was at the top of the big Buddha. It's almost one of the seven wonders. It's a 90-meter tall Buddha carved into the side of a mountain. I was sick. I'd been bad. Got up to the top of the thing, got off the train. I'd been on this train for 17 hours, got off the thing, walked down, and this Chinese guy walks up and goes, "Hello, American friend." I said, "Hello." He says, "Are you lonely?" And I was like, "Why?" "No, I'm okay." "Because you're away from your home." And I was like, "Yes, I've been away from my home for a long time." And then he got this dreamy look in his eyes and he goes, "Country roads take me home to the pledge. I'll be wrong." I'm exaggerating a little. And I can't do it the way this guy did because he was Chinese and that sounded a little bit Japanese when I did it. But he serenaded me the whole song.
Oh my God.
In this train station, just standing there in his classic Chinese. He's got a black jacket and white shirt and he's kind of dirty. And he just sang the whole song for me. And I was like,
gosh.
He's like, "Enjoy the Buddha." And I was like, "Thank you." Dude, I was like, whoa. What? I don't even know what that was. But it was Country Roads.
Yeah.
Same freaking song.
Same freaking song. I mean, it was like, I was like leagues out there. I had been on the road for ages. I was exhausted. And I was like wanting to go home. And this guy sang Country Roads. "Go home, Brent. go home. It was like Carl Jung dropping me some bombs. It was like, go, dude. Archetypal need for home. Go. You know, it was crazy. But it's country roads. I don't know what that's about or what
That
it
is wild.
That's so funny. One of the my favorite live CDs from Journey was a show they did in Japan.
Okay.
And the audience was singing every single word and cheering for every single song. And a lot of artists tour Europe and everywhere and blah, blah, blah. But back in the day, so many artists were going to Japan and China, specifically Japan. And all these American artists would go there, and all these live albums were done there. And it was like this enthusiasm from these people singing these songs with the bands completely in English. It's like, I don't know if they knew what they were saying, but they knew how to sing it.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the person. This girl, Ray, that was a waitress in Taiwan, she was 17, had perfect English because she loved it. And she practiced all the time, worked in the foreigner restaurant where all the foreigners hung out on the weekend because it was a time to practice and earn money at the same time. Wow. You know, so I mean, it all depends on who they are and what they want. You know? Yeah.
For sure.
You know?
Tune in live every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central
on the Unsung Screamers Facebook page, YouTube channel, and Twitter.
And check out our Unsung Screamers podcast
Wherever you get your podcasts.